All right, hello and welcome. This is week 4. We are talking today about the patterns of aggregation, the Groupby method, and I have created the data set. Here it is. It consists of several columns. So this data set is pretty much of artificially created, but it's sufficient enough for practicing aggregations. So let's get loaded the data set and have a look how it is uh, comprised. So we have several groupings which are available on region, on channel, on category, and these are three columns that we are going to use for further grouping. We are going to address the single most dangerous error in business analytics, the green mismatch. When you have a table of line items, but your stakeholders, let's say, ask for a metric that live at the order or customer view, if you simply calculate the mean of your revenue column to get the average order value, you're wrong. You have calculated the average price of a single item, not the size of the customer chart. And in this session, we will implement and precise group by patterns to ensure you never make this mistake. So let's first deal with the checking whether we have any missing values, and we do have some missing values. These comprise of around 2% of our data set. And let's produce the pattern 1, which is the executive summary. We sum revenue by region. Note that we are using the dropna false. By default, pandas hides rows with missing values, and in an audit, we would like to see the missing data. So you can see that the NAN appears over here. Um, we If you have unassigned regions, you will see that this NAN is unassigned region. Beside those four legitimate one, you also would like to see whether any missing regions presented in your data set. Then we would like to check the strategy matrix. It's the aggregate first, then derive. Pattern 2 is our strategy matrix. We look at region by channel. So you can see that we are grouping by two options which are in the list, first the region and then the channel. Then we aggregate using three columns. The rule here, aggregate at the KPI grain, then compute derived metrics. Do not average the rows. Sum the revenue, count the unique orders. So that's what we're doing, the summing the revenue and counting unique orders. Then we divide them to get the average order value further. So you can see that here is the profit over revenue, margin on order value is calculated respectively. And we can see that the granularity like that, South region online type of order, South region retail type of order, and South region partner type of order, right? Next thing that we are going to deal with is the weighted averages. The pattern 3, when management asks for the average price of electronics, and if you use mean, you treat a $2,000 laptop sold once the same as a 10 cable sold 500 times. So you need a weighted average, and you shouldn't use the apply. It is slow. We are going to use the vector mathematics, and here we are using the aggregation over orders, units, and revenue, and then sort the values. So here's our product hierarchy where different categories and subcategories are presented, and we besides you can see the revenue, the average unit price, and the rest. And these are sorted by revenue, so we can see the topest revenue in electronics and the lowest one in the home furniture, as expected. True average price paid weighted average is what distinguishes the uh, we are going to use the extra, let's say the helper column price X units. And let's check. We can see that weighted average price is presented over here. Next thing that we're going to use is showcase the time series, the stable frequency. Pattern 4 is our time series. We cannot group by raw timestamps. We use the so-called pd.Grouper over here where we provide the frequency. And the frequency is month start, MS, month start. So this buckets all dates into clean monthly periods essential for our trend analysis. And we can see that order date in the January up to June is presented over here. So we can either plot the orders or plot the revenue, check where the profit maximized is maximized. And we can see that it's in May and March, right? So next thing is our KPI report, the channel KPI report. It is our board report. We need orders, customers, revenue, and the AOV side by side. Notice that orders uses and unique. We can use this pattern. If we used, let's say, count, we would be counting line items, which is a meaningless metric. So this table is your source of truth, where we present the group by channel and aggregate the orders up to profit. So we can see that line has the maximum amount of orders and the revenue generated is the toppest one as long as the profit. But retail often derives as highest margin. Next thing is the patterns of the audit and context. We check and these patterns help us inspect data without compressing it. So pattern 6 is a pure frequency audit. It's useful for raw, checking data balance. And further, we are going to use the window function transform to um, to calculate the original total, and broadcast it back to every row. So this lets us see each transaction as a share of region. So we can see each transaction, how large it is in the original sales. Same kind of thing produced with this kind of. Next pattern is the deal size buckets, the hardest concept where we mm, uh, where most mistakes might happen. We want to segment by deal size, small versus enterprise, and we cannot bin the line items. A large order might consist of 50 small items, so we must roll up to the order level first, then bin the totals. We then analyze the quality of those segments, profit and margin. And we can see that the enterprise level orders, there are 7 of them, average revenue, average profit is like that. Uh, final, finally, two more options are available. The pattern 9 is the filter method. It filters the data. We want to study only our loyal customers, and we use the filter to check how many how many customers visited our store 5 times or more. So we can see that 1991 is the answer. Visited of our stores 5 times, not just the made 5 purchases. And finally, the master report, where we um, combine everything. We group by region and country and category, explicitly dropping missing regions for a clean performance view. This is the table which you can export to Excel for the stakeholders, where the categories are presented and weighted average profit is presented as well. So aggregation is a definition of a business reality. If you Aggregate at the wrong grain, you define a false reality, and practice pattern order level binding until it is a second nature, right?